And now for a conversation from the hashtag Youth and Gov Coalition, an effort led by youth-led organizations who are calling on the Biden-Harris administration to bring young people to the table. Joining us are a few folks from that coalition: Jasmine Kay, Executive Director of 18 by Vote; Bo Macchiel, who formerly worked in the Office of Public Engagement at the White House; and Merritt Jones, Senior Advisor of Student Voice. Merritt, I'll pass it to you.
Thanks, Don. I am joined by Jasmine and maybe Bo. We'll see, but we know you're over time. So just want to be able to turn over to you, Jasmine, to say, can you just walk us briefly through this campaign and the main goals?
Good. Okay, we do have Bo. Hey, Bo. Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the most important things that I've seen through my work with young people is that it's not enough just to listen to them. We also need to have tangible pathways for them to be able to have a seat at the table. So this whole memo basically looks at how we can institutionalize youth engagement. So there are three kind of main things. First is looking at an office for young Americans, and within that is having a director of youth engagement, particularly someone who is Gen Z focused, and so that it can really also be an independent body there. So it's also doing DPC and working within policy things beyond just engagement. And then I also will, Merritt, if you want to kind of talk about some of the interagency pieces, I think that would work too.
Yeah, I'll just say the biggest thing we noticed was that the White House alone can't do all the work, and agencies like the Department of Ed and HHS, who's historically engaged young people, and HUD and USDA, who runs 4-H and these other youth programming, we knew that there needed to be alignment and that this needed to last beyond Biden. And if we're going to do this right, it needs to have infrastructure in all the agencies as well as the White House. And the way you do that is through personnel, which I'll have Bo share a little bit about.
Yeah, hey everyone, I'm Bo Machayo again, and we used to work in the Obama administration and worked in the Office of Public Engagement. I got my job at 24 years old, and I think I heard Nia West Bay say budgets are demonstrative of values, and I'd also say that personnel is also demonstrative of values. Young Americans have been greatly impacted, and we've seen their role within the election and being able to mobilize and also fight for issues that are disproportionately going to affect them, whether that's COVID, whether that's climate change. But how are we really focusing in on ensuring that young Americans are spread out throughout government, and how are we being intentional in doing that? And this Youth and Gov coalition has come together through the three pillars that Jasmine and Merritt just talked about. One, having an office dedicated solely to young Americans. Two, really ensuring that we have interagency working group to be able to show where young Americans can make impact and where the policy decisions that they need to help implement in the federal government. And then three, also making sure that we're ensuring that there's a pipeline of young Americans who can start from different levels, whether it's beginning, medium, or also given also huge leadership roles within government. And this coalition really wants to make sure that we have a dedicated person within PPO to be able to make sure that we're building that pipeline and addressing those issues that young Americans really care about.
And I know we're at time here, so we'll just say, if you want to get involved, the easiest thing you can do is go to our website and sign on for updates. We're getting updates out to the coalition, hopefully pretty regularly, so that folks know what's happening, how to push. There'll be a broader public push, and the best way to do that is adding your name to the website so that you can get updates. And then the other piece is, if you're here representing an organization that isn't currently involved, we've built out a coalition of over 30 youth-driven organizations that range from climate to education justice to gender equity and gun violence prevention, and so many in between. And, this is an issue that we all can agree on, that young people need to be represented in this administration and many administrations to come. So we're really trying to build out as broad of a coalition as possible. And you'll find the links in the chat. And I'm also going to drop the Google form, which will allow us to get your organization on the website quickly and really work together to do this. Any final thoughts, Jasmine or Bo?
I'll give some final thoughts. I would just say it's, be a part of this coalition, get your organizations involved. Young American groups and young American advocacy groups are essential to making sure that government works and works and does the things and accomplishes the policy goals that we need. We need folks on the outside and also on the inside to ensure that, you know, these policy decisions that we really pushed for, you know, Congress or the federal government to ensure, that we also need to be a part of these policymaking solutions. So thanks again, Jasmine and Merritt, for your leadership in Youth and Gov. I don't think we'd have the coalition without you all. So looking forward to continuing to work with you and all these other folks on the call.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, everyone on this call who's also been a partner, and Bo and Merritt. And I would just say generally, like, we really hope that this can also be a tool to help demystify government. I know for me, even like the word bureaucracy seems like complicated and confusing. And the federal government is confusing, and it wasn't necessarily designed, even though government should be designed for us, it wasn't necessarily designed to be inclusive and accessible to everyone. And so I think one of our biggest goals throughout all of this is ensuring that any young person knows where to start, how to engage, and that we're building out these systems. So it goes beyond, again, these next 4 years, right? Like, we have a platform right now with the Biden-Harris administration, but we need to build out these systems. We need to build these structures so we can transform government beyond even these next 4 years. But I think we have a really great opportunity now, and we want to make sure that we are representing as many people as possible. So please reach out to us, let us know how we can help amplify voices and try and build bridges within the federal government for more young folks. And thank you all for convening this space.